It's on.
Is Jesse
Especially
still
with adults,
working with the county?
seniors that
Right.
cannot move up fast.
I don't know.
If
I'm
needed?
gonna. Do you want me to put it back how I had
I
it?
haven't
Yes, if you don't
apprised
mind.
him of anything. This letter was the first official thing I
Alright.
received.
We haven't had
And then
any
I'll just shrink these.
calls or anything, right?
Not since way back then.
Is that
Remember those meetings
too
were
small on the
always
right,
so-
or is that okay?
No, that's
Oh,
perfect.
it's-
Thank
Oh,
you.
they
And then
were.
our other one is right there.
Right there.
Thank you, Rosa.
You're
Should be easier with him not there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Okay. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
How do you spell his name?
I guess we're gonna do
I
pledge of
hear that
allegiance and everything
pronunciation and I
twice.
just
What?
wonder if I'm saying it right.
I should have taken that off. All we need to do is call to order. Roll call pledge. Because we're gonna do it in this meeting again. Should we just?
Hey, how you doing, Rosa?
Yeah.
All right.
You can call over my fingers.
Oh, I
My
know.
pen.
Look at, I did that too. Yours red though.
I've
You're
got
good,
some
right
my
on the money.
sleeve. Different day.
You do this. Are we ready? So we're gonna call to order our commissioners.
Commissioner Stubbs here.
But we will.
Cindy just emailed me before. It looks like Rosa's on here, but Cindy was saying the
Just a second.
other commissioners will join
Austin?
once the item is up.
Austin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, we can hear you.
Perfect.
Sorry. So, okay, if you guys will mute for just a minute, then we'll get back to you.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to have an invocation for this meeting, which will lead us into our commission meeting. We won't do it twice. So if we actually ask if anyone in the audience would like to volunteer, and if not, one of our staff will. Okay. Would one of our staff like to? Raymond, do you mind?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Our dear kind Heavenly Father, we're grateful that we can gather for this commission meeting this day. We're grateful for our elected officials and pray that they'll be able to conduct the business for the county in a wise manner and be able to help serve and lift and develop the residents and county, that it can be a good place for all to live. And we're grateful for all thy blessings upon us, and may thy spirit be with our leaders in this meeting. And this I humbly pray in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. And we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance, and our county attorney will offer that right now, if he doesn't mind.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, does anyone have a conflict of interest regarding this public hearing? Commissioner Harvey?
Madam Chair, I have no conflict.
Okay, Commissioner Stubbs?
I can no conflict either.
Okay, I don't as well. So the purpose of this public hearing is for the discussion of a project determined to be applied for in the CDBG Small Cities Program for the year 2026. This project includes installation of a restroom in the LaSalle First Responder Building located in New LaSalle. This project includes installation of a septic system as well as restroom furnishings. And if there are any comments, we will allow for any for a few moments, and then if not, we will close our hearing. This facility houses the EMS and the fire and does not have a restroom facility. So that's why the grants are being sought, or the funding is being sought after. So do we have anyone who needs to make a public comment? If you are online and you're going to make a public comment, will you raise your hand, please? Okay. Do we need to let it go for a certain amount of time? Are we good?
Not really. Once you feel it's been given its shot, then you can close it and move ahead.
Okay.
Over here, part.
All right. Seeing that there are no comments online or in the audience, I will take a motion to close this public hearing.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
did we need to do a motion to enter into public hearing?
actually, you're correct. We do need to have that motion. Will you go ahead and make that? Thank
I
you
will
for the
make that
clarification.
motion to move into public hearing.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. I still don't see any comments. So now we'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then if did you have a comment?
No, I say aye.
Oh, okay.
Who's coming?
Then if I can get a motion to adjourn this public hearing.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Stubbs.
I'll second the motion to
Okay,
move in public hearing.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, we are going to move into our regular Board of Commissioners meeting. I'm trying to see how to get this a little bigger for us. That didn't help a whole lot. All right. Okay, so Lyman, for the record, the time now is 11:05 for our regular Board of Commissioners meeting, May 19th, 2026. And we're going to call to order. So I will start with you, Commissioner Harvey.
Commissioner Harvey present.
Commissioner Stubbs present.
Hello. And Commissioner Mon present. Yep. We need a lot of help up here. Thank you, Rosa. Okay. We did have an invocation, which will roll over, and the Pledge of Allegiance. And so then we're going to declare a conflict of interest, if anyone has one regarding this agenda.
I have no conflict of interest, Madam Chair.
Okay.
I don't have it. None either.
Okay. And I as well do not have any. So we'll move into the public comment portion of our meeting. The purpose of the San Juan County Commission meeting is to conduct county business in a public setting as provided by law. We truly value and welcome public comment as it gives citizens an important opportunity to share ideas, concerns, and suggestions that help strengthen our county. To ensure everyone has a fair opportunity to speak, comments are limited to 3 minutes and should focus on county programs and operations. Objective criticism is welcome. However, complaints about specific county personnel or private individuals will not be permitted. Please understand that the public comment is not a debate and question and answer session, and an immediate response from the commission should not be expected. If you would like more information or further discussion, a member of our staff will be happy to assist you to set up a follow-up meeting. We appreciate your participation and your willingness to be involved in your county government. So I did not see anyone sign up. So we'll open it up to the floor first. If anyone needs to make a public comment, you're welcome to come up and state your name. Okay. And let me see if there's any online. Oops. Rose is going to kill me with this. I don't see the online though. Right there. Okay. Okay. We will move into our regular agenda. So we have our consent agenda. So we do have several of these commission meeting minutes, right? Is that correct, Lyman, that were not approved previously and that's why they're on here?
That's correct.
Okay.
They were completed, just not placed on the agenda.
Okay. So our first one is approval of the purchase of an additional 30 yards recycling bin. Number 2, approval of the September 16th, 2025 commission meeting minutes. Approval of the November 24th, 2025. Approval of the December 2nd, 2025 and that would be a work session and a commission meeting. So that's why they're duplicated. An approval of the April 21st, 2026 work session and commission meeting. Approval of the May 5th commission meeting minutes. Approval of the check registers for April 10th through May 14th, 2026. Approval of a letter of support for UDOT for ongoing safety concerns for the entrance B129 Yellow Circle Road. Approval of a letter of support for active reentry and learning centers CIB funding. Approval of the appointment of Rick Eldridge to serve on the San Juan County Mental Health Board for a 4-year term. And approval of the San Juan County Airport liability placed on a 3-year term. So if I can get a motion to approve our consent agenda or any questions.
Can I make I don't know if this need to be a correction, but under number 12,
Okay.
and the letter, it doesn't matter to me, but my last name was misspelled, so I don't know if that makes a difference.
You can
Need
just
to be
note it for the
corrected or not.
record. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I used to people misspelling my name, but I wasn't sure since it's our records, permanent records.
Mine gets misspelled all the time as well. So, okay. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, people. Just bear with me. All right. So if I can get a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I'd like to motion consent agenda items 1 through 11 and 13 for approval. And then I'd like to go to 12 after.
Okay. So we have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay. Do you want to go to 12 before we vote?
No,
You want to
let's-
vote?
let's-
Okay. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. We will go to item 12 on the consent.
Madam Chair, on number 12, I don't know if the chair for San Juan Health or San Juan Counseling's here, Mr. Jensen. Okay, maybe I can defer to Tammy. I'm sorry, Tammy, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. But normally when we have any public committee vacancies, the typical process would be to publish and to open up to the community so that they have an opportunity to read and then submit their letter of intent and what other documents are required. In this particular instance, was that followed, Tammy, that you're aware of?
Probably not. We usually, when you come up to my
Please.
So, in the past, we've had the county administrator put it out. This is like a mid-year vacancy. Steve Jensen announced his retirement midway through his thing he wants to be done, and so he kind of took it upon himself to find somebody to fill his spot. Every year we've had vacancies and we've put it out and we get no response, and so we're usually out trying to find people to fill our spots. So I would bet in this case it probably wasn't, unless we just count it as it's always been open. But if we need to pull it back and go through that process, I don't have any objections to that.
I'd like to defer to the county attorney, Madam Chair.
Sure.
Mitch, county attorney, would we violate any rules for public?
Probably ought to do it the proper way and just to cover our bases.
Yep, I have no problem with that. Well, I'll take it back to my board chair and we'll get it going. Like I said, the county administrator usually does that, so I'll take direction from you guys. If you guys just want us to do public notices out there, I can do that. I just never have. We just always have gone through the county to do that.
Madam Chair, I'll make the motion to defer back to mental health, our director, so that she can follow the public process for vacancies on committees.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right. And all in favor, say aye.
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 One last thing, Lyman is aware of public noticing, so if you do need some help, you can contact the clerk auditor's office for
Okay.
help with that. Okay.
Maybe I'll get a hold of you, just get some wording, and I don't mind put it in the paper.
Okay.
Okay, sounds great.
And then when that finishes, if you don't have anyone, will you guys take it upon yourselves to circle back with this and to get it back on our agenda?
Yeah, we'll
Will
have
that-
to.
okay.
You have to approve them all.
Yes. Okay. We just don't want to fall through the cracks, so thank you. All right, we have some recognitions, presentations, and information items. So our first one is our presentation on the energy rebates program. So, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Is the mic on or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners, for allowing us to come present. There is a presentation, I think in the packet. And this is meant as a follow-up item. I know that Commissioner Mon and Commissioner Harvey both were, and Commissioner Stubbs were all aware of and participated in. I know Commissioner Mon spent the entire day with us, which we really appreciate, down in Bluff and then out onto the Navajo Nation a few weeks ago, where we were able to be joined by the implementer for the state of Utah's home energy rebates program. This program is it's one of those that's a long time coming. It was announced as a federal formula grant program from the Department of Energy, meaning that every state was set to receive a certain amount of money to fund what is called the Home Energy Rebates Program. This is meant as a program to provide direct coverage of costs related to home energy efficiency upgrades for low and middle income homeowners, with the purpose of creating energy cost savings at the household level. The program was announced all the way back in 2022. The Department of Energy, as you can imagine, takes a long time for these programs to get set up, for the guidance to be issued. The reason that this is particularly relevant today is that we finally got word that the U.S. Department of Energy is making these funds available, or should be making these funds available for states here within the next few weeks. So the State Energy Office, the Office of Energy Development here in Utah, has been kind of on pause in terms of implementation of this program, awaiting formal guidance from the federal government, from the Department of Energy. We're really excited that this program looks to be, actually coming into fruition. We're really appreciative of the state and the Office of Energy Development. Despite the uncertainty related to the existence of the federal funds, they did make Green Cat Energy, the implementer, the company that the state has hired to set up this program for us in Utah. They did make the implementer available. And I would say that we're very lucky here in San Juan County to have our state representative, Logan Monson, who is actually really involved with Green Cat Energy and aware of this program. The work that and by the way, I'm Drew Cooper. I live in Bluff, and I'm mostly here as a private citizen because this work started as a grassroots effort all the way back in 2023, understanding that these funds would becoming available, and also understanding that historically for us in this part of the state, it has not always been the case that we, are first on the list of getting access to these sorts of programs. We know that this program, because it relies on a variety of government agencies being able to work with the implementer, to work with private contractors, that it's going to take a big team effort to make sure that San Juan County residents can benefit. So back in April of 2024, the Navajo Utah Commission, Norman Lehman and See Forever Green, a variety of different chapter officials all welcomed the Office of Energy Development down to Red Mesa chapter for an initial listening session that was focused on this program and the program known as Solar for All, which was a different program that's now canceled, that was more focused on developing solar energy at the household level. That listening session resulted in the Office of Energy Development determining to set aside of the state's allotment in this program of $101 million. The Office of Energy Development listened to the feedback from that listening session and actually made the decision to set aside $8 million of the program funds specifically for households on tribal lands within the state, which was a big deal considering that otherwise a lot of tribal communities in the state would have a hard time accessing the funds from this program. So where we are today, like I mentioned, we held that listening session way back when. The program paused. Despite the program pause, the Office of Energy Development was able to go ahead and hire Green Cat Energy, the implementer, and that brought us to a couple weeks ago when we held the site visit and listening session with Green Cat and the team down in Bluff, where we were able to go out, visit some residents on the Navajo Nation, speak to people about what we needed to see in this program. The program, and if we go down maybe a couple slides, I'll try to. The program obviously matters to us in San Juan County because, as you may know, we have the highest energy cost burden in the state. You can leave it here for a second. We have the highest energy cost burden in the state by far at the household level. So that includes the cost that people pay for household electricity, but also factors in the cost of, wood gathering and other types of fuel. We did a big surveying effort in that interregnum between the first listening session I mentioned and the listening session we held a couple of weeks ago. Surveyed a lot of households. If you go down to the next slide, some of the results from that won't surprise, I think, many folks here, but we kind of had a wide variety of household types of homes that we talked to residents of. If we go down to the next slide, you'll see you can see a majority of the residents we spoke to were receiving electricity services from Navajo Tribal Utility Authority, and you can see that there's a wide range of satisfaction levels, particularly a lot of dissatisfaction with cooling systems. Those tend to be really energy inefficient if they exist at all. Many homes, of course, don't even have AC availability during the summer months, which is obviously not good for public health and not good for public satisfaction or for satisfaction. We'll go to the next slide. So the home energy rebates program, like I mentioned, is meant to provide low and middle income homeowners with the ability to offset the cost of energy efficiency upgrades. So based on, and if you scroll down to this is a very wordy slide, but basically Utah is receiving $101 million, give or take, from two separate programs, one of which is meant to provide cost of performing home energy efficiency improvements based on the modeled energy efficiency savings from the improvement. So that's called the HOMES program or the Whole Homes program. This is the program that I mentioned. The state of Utah has agreed to set aside $8 million of that $50.6 million specifically for households on tribal lands. If you scroll down to the next slide, some of the examples of what this program can cover: costs of up to $4,000 for households 80% of area median income or below, so long as the improvements would result in a 20 to 34% energy savings. And those improvements, think of these as more structural improvements to the home, things like improved insulation, air sealing activities. Also, and importantly, I think on the Navajo Nation, upgrades to the electric panel. A lot of our homes down south don't have robust, they're 50 amp panels. So the idea of putting in higher efficiency electric appliances, even in the future, is not possible when we have aged electrical infrastructure in the homes. If we scroll down a little bit more to the next, this is going on to the second of the two programs. This one is more geared towards the home electrification appliance installation. So this will cover costs related to actually purchasing and installing higher efficiency electrical appliances. Think heat pumps, think electric water heaters, heat pump water heaters. We anticipate that the updated guidance from the Department of Energy will broaden and expand the list of available, what sort of appliances this program can cover the cost of. So that's the other side of this, is the appliance side. So there's both the improvements to the home that improve the entire home's efficiency, and then there are also the direct cost of installation of new appliances. And so we'll scroll down if we can to, this just gives a little bit more detail on the eligibility for that appliance program. And then we can go down. This gets into kind of the recommendations that came out of the listening session. The main thing I would say that we heard loud and clear in the listening session, and I know Commissioner Mon was there and able to have a lot of these conversations as well. There are barriers that exist, especially on Navajo Nation, for people being able to participate and access programs like this. It really did seem, and we have to say thank you to all of you as commissioners for being so proactive here, because I think so much of the barrier can be awareness of these programs to begin with. So the work that that you all have done to raise awareness and to make sure that this program can benefit everybody in the county really means a lot. As we move forward with the Office of Energy Development, I also want to recognize and thank the Commission for sending the follow-up note to the Energy Office. Our ask to you all as commissioners would be to stay engaged with the Office of Energy Development as they begin to, and Green Cat, as they begin to set up this program. We're going to need more engagement to understand kind of the interplay between the tribal government and how folks with home site leases can participate in the program. We're also going to need a lot of outreach to our local contractor community here in San Juan County. One of the cool things about this program is that it's a big opportunity to provide more work for local contractors, especially in the HVAC sector. But we also know that we have many people might experience a shortage right now of contractors available. It's probably pretty hard to find contractors who have a lot of free time right now to take on more work. But to the extent that we can, we want to make sure that this program can bolster local economic development and provide more opportunities for local contractors to get more of this residential work in the homes. So there's some in the slides, we get into more details, kind of specific recommendations that come out of the listening session. But what's relevant, I think, here is that we just want to extend our appreciation to you all for, I think you all have engaged more in this process than probably any commissioners across the state. And I think that sets us up in San Juan County really well to benefit from this. I also want to I know Commissioner Stubbs, that you sit on the CERTA board. We want to extend our appreciation to CERTA. Oh, sorry. I'm mistaken. We want to extend our appreciation to CERTA as well. The coordination with CERTA's weatherization program that many of you know about is really important here. CERTA was able to send down some of their weatherization team to the listening session. We want to make sure that that collaboration can continue and prosper as this program comes online, so that we can make sure that those two programs really can intersect and work together to accomplish the same goals. So I appreciate the time, and just really appreciate your work and willingness to have us up here to talk about this. So,
Any questions or comments?
I have a question. Did you already answer part of it? Because I work with Westwater community near Blanding, and I did contact SORTA to come and do a weatherization for a community there. So I just wanted to know if you were not duplicating the work or whatever, that community is in need. They just got electricity about 2 years ago. So they're learning that you get electrical bills and all the process and try to get adjusted. The idea that maybe heating with electricity is not the way to go sometimes,
right,
especially when their homes are not insulated. Anyway, so that is a question I had, and I think that the need is great. I know Olgero chapter also been trying to get help from SORTA and trying to work with everybody. But anyway, one of the things that my question is, are you a nonprofit organization that's receiving funds from the government, or you come directed from the program?
No. So I do work for United Today, Stronger Tomorrow, which is a community organizing nonprofit. We don't receive any program funds from this program or any federal program. And like I said, this has become more, at this point, because of how long this has taken, this has become more of a passion project for Drew and really of working with community members because the need is great, like you said. So I don't have any intention of applying directly for funds from this program. I do think it would be beneficial or advantageous for the community to have, especially in Southern San Juan, to have some liaisons so that there's a way that people are connecting and helping people navigate applying for and receiving funds from the program. So I think that that's something to consider.
So basically, is that the person that is in need apply and they receive the funds, or does it go to the contractor?
That's an important question. One of the recommendations, I think, in the recommendation slide just above, we think it's pretty important that the contractors serve as that point where that the contractor is as much as possible handling the application and paperwork with the state so that the contractor is being directly compensated to minimize the the financial burden and the paperwork burden on the individual applicants. That's a decision, though, that the state and that every one of the states gets to kind of determine as they set up the program. So I know that based on the feedback from the listening sessions, it sounded like having the closed contractor network where contractors were the ones who were really the lead outs on connecting, with the state to receive funds. That's how many other states are doing it. And it seems like that has a lot of merit so that people aren't having to navigate both dealing with the program and then also finding the contractor and then making sure the contractor is getting paid.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Madam Chair, just some comments in regards to this. This was a great exercise for our county to work with Representative Logan Monson, the state, engaging with the federal funding source, and again, through Drew's efforts, working together, really, and getting some funding for our county. It's almost an economic mobility kind of thing where we're securing funds that benefit our citizens and bringing work along with that. So, let's continue to do more of this kind of work where we're collaborating. And thank you so much to Representative Monson. We had his ear from the beginning. He was able to sit down with Department of Energy, and then, of course, you, Madam Chair, for being there for us and being part of the conversation. So I'm looking forward to how this will help all of us in our communities. Healthier homes. I think this will benefit a lot of families back home. Comfortable homes. So there's a lot of benefits to this that I can sense. So that's all I wanted to say, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the last comment, so of course, not knowing that funding was coming, we kind of left with the comments that were said. But now that it is, I wonder if we need to get that group back together that was kind of in on that and have that conversation and a follow-up of how, especially getting the word out. That was one of the main things we did talk about. And so that people understand that they can apply for this or get this, and just making those connections again. Because I'm afraid that if the funds come in and then we just rely on contractors or people we've got to connect those dots again. So maybe that same group having that follow up again, so we understand what path we're headed, and the information is given through the chapters or however that looks down there, but which I know you're aware of.
Right.
So, but
I think that's smart. I think that's a great idea. And,
Okay.
Green Cat,
Yes.
the implementer, rightfully, I think there was a lot of uncertainty. There still is uncertainty about when the program funding will be officially released, right? The word is that, and I know that the Office of Energy Development is optimistic about the kind of formal updated guidance being issued by the Department of Energy, which would mean that our state's funds would be released here sometime in June,
right.
which then gives us a good, that sets the timetable for exactly what you're saying, Commissioner Mon, about re-engaging that group. And I'd be happy to try to coordinate with the folks. So
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate your work. Yes.
Just one more thing. What you're doing is a great service to the people. And sometimes you don't get to see the results. After the cameras and everybody came and took pictures, they got. Also working with a community, Westwater, had the opportunity of people talking what it was like when they turned on the light, what it was when the water came. And they just sat around the table, and how they had to work together. And I think that's one thing that I wish people like you can see the moment when people are crying because to see the water come in or turn on the electricity. And anyway, thank you.
thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming. And Caitlin will be leaving us, going to a different job. But we know where to find you, so you can help us. So thanks. Thank you, Drew. Okay, number 15, discussion of UAC Eric Clark Legal Services. So we have county attorney presenting that.
Thank you. So, this issue was brought up before. The state of Utah, under UAC, offers a service where counties can pay an initial fee. I think the fee is $10,000, and in return, they have access to a deputy county attorney who, the way it works is he would be sworn in as my deputy, and would answer to me, but could provide a lot of services. And I just think this mainly came up because right now we're trying to do an annexation with the Moab Valley Fire Department. And Jens and I both are very familiar with annexations. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. Originally, I committed to do that in an effort to try and save the county about $30,000. That's the amount when that fire district was initially set up. They paid some experts, some consultants, Moab did, to come in and do all the work for them. And the bill back at that time was about $25,000. So I think, given the delay or the length in time, that figure is probably more upward of 30,000. But given all the other projects that we have going on, I think we could use the help. And so this is just, I think along with this, I attached the contract. I didn't actually look. Is the contract?
Actually, I only see the letter, and this is just the presentation item, so it'd come back as a business action.
So I just wanted to, bring it to you guys' attention. If you feel that's something that would be beneficial for the county, you could have access. Again, it's not like you can make phone calls to this guy and kind of circumvent the county attorney's office. The idea is, like I say, he gets sworn in actually as a deputy county attorney and kind of answers to me as opposed to the commission. But I think both Jens and I could use some help, and rather than spend the $30,000, if Jens and I didn't do the annexation, and we had to spend the $30,000, that makes sense to pay $10,000. Now that $10,000 hasn't been budgeted, so it would require probably a public hearing to add that to the budget, basically around mid-year, if that's what the commissioners decide. So it's just it's on now for just a discussion item. I thought I attached, I think the contract, if the contract's not there, it got lost along the way, but it's just a simple contract that I can send to each of you. But anyway, that's,
Questions?
yeah.
I just have a comment. As you know, I have been working to try to have that taken care with this attorney, and so I'm glad that we are doing this because this person, this contract not only benefit to have Eric, but also any other legal matter they can give us. You can give us an attorney and anything that we are in need of. So I think this is a $10,000 spend, and I'm glad that we are on the same page now because I think we need that kind of help. And I know how it works. I knew that when we were working, he contacted you to get permission, and now that I'm glad it's here, and I think he can help to answer some of the question that we asked you. You can ask them, and I think it's a good
Yeah.
worth $10,000 well spent.
I guess I do have a question for you, Madam Chair. Initially, I was told it's the 10,000, but if one county, and I know you were in on some meetings, if one county moving forward seems to use this service a lot more than say any other counties, is that going to make the premium raise up? Do you know?
That was asked. This is so new with UAC, so we
Yeah.
could actually, I can get with them and get more information regarding that question. Because my other question is it a 10,000 a year contract, or is it by month? Is it?
It's a
I can't
10,000
remember
per
exactly
year.
how they had set that up.
It's
Because
10,000 per year, and it is part of the package they give us. And the more counties that participate,
Yeah.
better
well,
for them because they are doing. This is a good deal for us to do to the counties.
Yeah, my only concern, and it wouldn't impact the first year, but let's say during the first year, we're calling them all the time and they're down here. And so it comes time for the annual renewal and they say, well, we spent X amount of time down there, X amount of time on San Juan County. And so we have a total amount here. We're going to charge San Juan County $25,000 because that.
Which
Yeah.
you did when they did the presentation. in
yeah,
Newark.
well, it was brought to the UAC board, so we had that conversation prior before it was brought to UAC, and a lot of those questions were asked. They weren't fully answered because, like I said, this is a brand new thing that UAC has brought on. So I would need to reach back out and say, okay, who's been using it? Where are you at with it? Because they've only been into it maybe 4 months at that point. Because
Yeah.
it's brand new kind of this
Yeah,
year.
it started
So
at the beginning of the year.
so
Yeah,
I can bring
and-
those
but-
answers
but
back.
nevertheless, I think at least for the first year,
Yeah.
we could opt in and pay the 10,000, and then if they tell us that when the premium comes due again, it's 25,000, we could take a look.
Sure.
But anyway, any other
Any
questions?
questions?
Madam Chair, maybe a couple of thoughts to consider.
Okay.
It's nice to have a lot of attorneys, but then again, it's also nice to know what your attorney's purpose is and what they're going to focus on. And I think this is worth exploring because from what I remember from the UAC discussions, there are counties that are impacted by the tax that they've been paying in the past.
Yeah, that's true.
And right now, they're filing lawsuits with the state tax commission saying we've been overassessed, we've overpaid, and therefore we want to be reimbursed for overpaying. Those kind of cases are, I think, the intent is to help counties fight for those worthy causes. I don't know how we weigh into the years that we're currently in active litigation for the what do they call it, payment in lieu of tax? It's not that. It's
You mean the centrally assessed?
centrally assessed stuff.
That we always have a nice lawsuit.
And that's something worth sitting down, probably with the treasurer too,
Yeah.
and evaluating the worth. Maybe it is worth it, considering how much we're protecting for the citizens. And really, when it comes to litigation, normally you just have an overgeneralized representation. But if you have a specific attorney saying, "But for San Juan County," at that voice, I think maybe it's worth the investment. But what are we looking at? That kind of thing. Anyhow, that's just my thoughts. Is maybe we should be talking about if we're going to explore this, what's the work, and just keeping the community informed. Well, we're going to be taking 10,000 of your tax money, but this is why we're doing this kind of a thing. and having some goals for it. That's clear, might be helpful. That's just my thoughts.
Commissioner, Madam Chair, can I have?
Uh-huh.
One of the things the UAC does, they create a package for us, and they have lots of benefits, like staying a little America for the same cost of money we paid as a county. They had several things. And one of the things they're struggling because people are playing like the salad bar, I don't like this, I like this. And so when we had a meeting last spring, they were talking that, and that's what I talked in one of the commissions that we need to support UAC because their job is a lot harder right now. They have all kinds of roads blocked as they're trying to help pass things, laws that benefit us. And so I think, to me, when they were talking, they were talking to us, it's like the reason they gave us good deals is because the numbers, if the 29 participate, it helps to be able to get good deals and be able to have attorneys that can contract. So if we see that as being part of the team where we can help each other, this is something that can really benefit us because there's other benefits that we are, choosing. So I just wanted to say that it is something that when they were presenting in the meeting, they were talking, and I can see the difference and how hard they had to work this year for all the bills that they had to trying to help us because we're a small county, we don't have a voice. So,
So if I remember right, a couple things real quickly is that Salt Lake County does shoulder a lot of the centrally assessed lawsuits. And so to keep that in mind, that's one thing, is that kind of shouldering the costs with all the counties, especially those of us that, like us in Graham, that have the same people with centrally assessed. And so that's one thing that I believe they do. And if I remember right, I'm digging deep to remember all this. The cost is kind of based on your population or your class of county. So I think when we look at that, because what they do for Salt Lake County is not going to be the same as they do for us. So I think that's why that cost ratio is that way. So, but I can clarify that because you kind of brought that up and reminded me. So, but we can look into that.
Yeah, so with your permission, I would propose getting it back on the agenda for approval at the next commission meeting. And in the interim, find out, maybe get, and I'll keep you guys in the loop by email.
Okay.
I'll send out an email to Eric Clark and ask him if he can give us a more detailed synopsis of what this contract would cover and so forth.
Okay.
And with that, we can get it back on the agenda for approval next time.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our next one is our Planning Affordable Housing for Families Project Summary Information. Talia, were you going to talk to us about this?
No.
Please do, because this I am been briefed on this, but I did not receive the information
have
who would
somebody
be
coming to do
presenting.
I think they're supposed to have someone come.
Yeah,
That's what I
somebody's coming.
thought. So let me just look
Yeah.
online and see if someone is here. If
I can speak to a little bit of it, what they're trying to do. But
is whoever online, are you here to present for the Planning Affordable Housing for Families? If you are, will you raise your hand or unmute? Okay, I don't see that. So do we just want to push that to the next one? I think we will. I think we'll just push this. Like I said, I barely found out about this. So
it is on a little bit of a timeline if that's something that you.
Yeah, they need.
do you want to speak to it briefly?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
So there is an opportunity to have affordable housing in Blanding through a company. One of the ways that they have to become affordable housing is they have to go through the application process with the state of Utah, which was delayed in opening because they were having some of the legislation finalized. Part of that change was that they need to have a little bit of additional buy-in and funding from the community. Blanding has done quite a bit of that, and then they're looking for additional funding for them to be able to do the application, which is due, I think, at the end of the month. So that was part of the ask, if I remember correctly, of if there was any way that we as the county are able to contribute to that affordable housing. And as you know, through the housing study that we had, affordable housing is on the list of one of those things. So is whether we do it or not, the project will move forward. It just might take longer to do that. And then it's helpful for them if they're able to go in, and it's often just a letter of support that they need to say that we're willing to contribute funds to do this. There had been ongoing discussions, which weren't really within my purview because it's Blanding City, but they did reach out to us in a meeting and included me within that to see if that was something that they could possibly do. Oh, I don't know. No, that's not them. So that's the general gist of the project. But it would provide a really great opportunity for us to have that housing in Blanding, which is super important and necessary. And it's unique that we have someone who's willing to invest in that for us. So.
Okay, any comments? Go ahead, Commissioner.
I go? Okay. Madam Chair, I think if you remember our recent discussion with our county administrator, he mentioned that this project, this 25 unit apartment project, should the county be able to contribute some towards the project, there might be an opportunity to secure 2 apartments possibly.
One or two, I can't remember.
And being able to utilize the 2 apartments for shelter. Currently, we have a homeless shelter program, and this may be a solution to housing homeless families. And I think that was the perspective, is perhaps the county could invest so that they might have 2 apartments that could be available for homeless or families that are in need. But that would also require us to be in the position to negotiate that and talk through with the contractor what portion we would fund, and then working out the details, most likely with our county attorney's help. But the intent was, this is a solution for homeless and for families that need a home immediately, especially during the winter time. So that's what I recall, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Those are the details.
One of the things that prevent us from acquiring more population is the lack of housing. And there's some times when we, from day one, I've been trying to find a solution for housing. One of the things we thought sometime about just buying ourselves a house that we can have somebody to start a job with us, and they can find housing. Maybe they'll take the job if they have a housing. Seemed to me, well, they're lacking $300,000.
Yeah. So
And so I was just thinking, if we were to consider that we buying those units and we use it for multiple use, we can use for somebody that maybe, need a place to stay, or people that are working for us. I don't know what kind of deal we can make, but if we can get that many houses and that many units, and Blondie would help. We are so behind the amount of housing that we need, and there's no way the mill is gonna open up bigger. They're building a bigger building. They're gonna have more people working there. And then every time you have that, then you need other people that move in because, have to have supportive industries for what you're doing. So I think this for us is something that we should consider because we just cannot find people that are willing to build for us.
Yeah, I would add just one thing, and I appreciate you remembering the conversation because I wasn't quite prepared. But they are looking at giving us an estimate of what the apartments would cost and what they would do so that we would know what that amount could look like for us. And then one additional thing that was brought up in the meeting was that for the homeless population, we do have some programs, but they don't cover all of the homelessness that we need. So, for example, right now in Westwater, we're looking for a place to house a veteran's family for 3 months while they're getting renovations on their place, but they don't qualify for the homeless stuff that we have now. So that might be another type of opportunity for us to use those services and meet the needs of our county in doing that. So those are the things that they are working on to bring to you.
So just a couple of comments on this. I mean, 300,000 is quite a shortfall.
Oh, it wouldn't be the full 300,000. So they have actually most of it committed. So for us, it would probably be looking between 50,000 to 30,000. That's what they were coming back with the numbers to see. Because really what we're trying to do is get support for the shortfall of that. So no, it is not that total amount.
If we had some idea of exactly what that is, and the reason I say that, I'm not trying to be negative on this. I definitely understand the need, and I see the need for the apartment complex. But yeah, at the same time, we've got a children's justice center that definitely needs to be done with needs that, that is a need for this county. And so it's just juggling all those needs. What takes precedent? What is the exact need? And so, but I am completely open to talking about this more. Do you know who the contact would be to present this?
I do. There's actually, I think, 3 of them, and I can forward that to you.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but the other thing too is that we're looking at other areas to be able to do that. So perhaps UNHS or other options. So right now it's just putting out the feelers so that we don't. What I would hope is that we don't delay the project years when we could do it very quickly for what we have the need for. So we're all working it together as a team to do that.
Sure.
Yeah. But I will get you the information.
Do you know anything about taxes that can benefit the county by building those?
So for this project, it's in Blanding, so it won't impact taxes per se for that. But Blanding City has actually committed quite a lot because they recognize the importance of the project. I think it's important to support our cities where we can, and I think that this is a worthy project to do that, especially because of the housing. But I definitely can get you more information for that, and then just let you know that we're putting out other feelers.
Okay.
So
Yeah, if you'll let us know.
you.
Thank you for filling in.
yeah, sorry.
Appreciate it. All right, thank you. Okay, project goals and objectives presentation, balcony technology, and we'll have a recorder. Cindy. This is the scary part of trying to figure this out. Where's that Zoom?
It's right there.
Oh, wait, maybe there? We had a Zoom set up, and I've got to find out where it's at.
Yeah, Rosa had it set up. I
James had it set up as well, so
feel like it was in the
he's
blue.
online, I believe. James, are you still watching us? Hi. Yes, we do. We just got to get our Zoom people back up.
Where's my mouse?
Right there.
You were there.
We were there once. Because they were all on the bottom.
Maybe they left. But
Oh, there they
they're
are.
here.
Right there.
This is your Google
Okay.
right here.
Thanks.
There. Now you're on mute.
Okay.
They won't be able to see you, but you can see them.
All right, Cindy, you want to introduce your group? I think they should be online.
Yes. Okay. This is exciting. We've been working a while on this, and finally got it to a point where I feel like this could be a huge benefit to the county, to multiple departments, and especially to individuals searching for mineral rights, for easements, for all the things that we have never mapped. we here in San Juan County have never had the personnel available to map those types of things, mineral rights and those types of property holdings. And Balcony has demonstrated, they've taken some of our records and they have demonstrated to us that they could map these for us very easily. They put our documents into their system and they end up producing a beautiful map. And as you know, we're trying to work towards a parcel fabric in the county, which would be a fabric is a fancy word of just saying it's an Esri layer, GIS layer that allows people to search online and see what's happening way better than we can right now. We just don't have the capabilities at the moment. But this would add another layer. And they also have a search engine portal where people can type things in, search for documents. It's kind of exciting, but I'm just going to let them show you what it is, and we'll go from there.
Well, thanks everybody. I appreciate you. I'm Jason with Balcony Technologies. I'm the VP of Strategic Accounts. I appreciate you letting us come here today and share with you a little bit about what we're doing around land records and fragmented data, as well as what we've been working with Cindy on. And the basis of this is we view land records as critical infrastructure, but they haven't really always been treated that way because the technology hasn't necessarily been there to do that. So what we're doing at Balcony is we're taking those records that are fragmented, they're spread across multiple systems, they're difficult for the clerk's office to use, for landowners to use, for businesses to use, so it takes time and it causes a lot of issues. They're not necessarily secure. So we kind of work as an intelligent layer and we bring all that data together into one place where you can view anything about a land records on really a single pane of glass, instantly. And when you bring, that's our core keystone product. And when you bring records together like that, that allows us to do a lot of really cool stuff, which part of that's what we're doing with mineral rights that Alex is going to show you in a little bit. We're working with some counties who are really looking at deed fraud and how do we prevent that. So we're working with some people in that area. Others, it's tracking foreign land ownerships. There's just a lot of stuff you can do. So Austin will show you kind of that core product that gives you kind of immediate value around searchability, saves time for the clerk's office, for the public, and just easier use. And then Alex will get into what we're doing around land records and getting them on kind of a point and click so you can see everything right in front of you.
Perfect. Very nice to speak with everyone. My name is Austin. I'm on the business development team here at Balcony. I'm going to be showing you just a brief demo of the Surface Keystone database that Jason had mentioned. What I'll do, I'm going to share my screen here. Just let me know when that comes up for you guys, and then we can get started.
Yes, it's up. Thank you.
Perfect. So everyone, you are looking at the Surface Keystone database. This is where we are breaking down some of those fragmented data silos between departments, from your land records to assessment to GIS, all combining that into, like Jason mentioned, that single pane of glass view. I just wanted to preface in the beginning, all the information that you're going to see in terms of how we're displaying that is really bespoke to your county. There's internal permissions just in terms of with sharing data across departments, being gatekeep information, full access information, administrative controls. That's also for the public as well too. We can do different things in terms of gatekeeping information, previewing information, or access to that information. I'm going to show you today one of our current partners, which is Bergen County here. I think that will show very well. But in terms of what you're looking at, what we've done is build the Surface Keystone database, and we've implemented a intelligent search feature. A lot of these recording databases, assessment databases, have that kind of what I call a bracketed search, where you could search by grantor, grantee, you could search by party one, party two, book and page, also date range, but it's a lot of sifting through information. It's also not taking into the effect of, let's say you have a misspelling or a space in the wrong place. We take that into the equation here at Balcony. We implemented what's called the fuzzy search feature here. So if I bring you over to the search tool, Couple different things that you can search by here. So you could search by owner, you could search by address, you could search by parcel or instrument number here. But let me show you the fuzzy search tool. As I type in 11 Union Street here, you see the fuzzy search start to take effect. It's pulling in the characters that you're typing in, and you see here, this is the property in Lodi that I'm looking for, 11 Union Street. You get a percentage match. And as I start to scroll down, you'll see your different partial matches, those characters that it's pulling in. And that's also for the effect of, let's say I have a misspelling and I type in Onion Street instead of Union Street. It's still going to retain a search from you. You could choose from that pick list. And a lot of the times that we find it, speaking with other recording and clerk's offices and assessment offices across the country, it might be designated in one office as 11 Union ST, as you see here, and I spelled out street fully. So it can be a little bit cumbersome for the internal staff to find information, also the public. So they're picking up the phone, they're calling the staff, spending time. So really cutting down on that time spent with searching for information, making it easier to access and find that info. Let me show you the example of 344 Valley Brook here in terms of this information that we're consolidating and centralizing. So you see this property in Lyndhurst that I'm searching for. It's my 100% match here. All I'm going to do is click on that property. What is going to come up for you all is the property profile and a couple different integrations that we have initially right here. Once you open up the property profile page, we have an integration with Google Images. You can see the property, what it looks like. This current partner liked the way Google Maps fit with their county. We're also a partner with Esri as well, so we can display that mapping functionality. If you have shape files, we can ingest those as well, giving you that full parcel view here. And then in terms of some of the assessment data that we're consolidating and centralizing here, you could see what type of property it is. Is it residential? Is it commercial? Is it mixed use? The block and lot, the year built, lot size. And as I start to scroll down here, who's the current owner of this property? We also have a third-party zoning integration as well. So if you all would like that displayed internally or externally, if you get those calls in sometimes to the office of, hey, what can I build here? What are some of the permitted land uses? I know more effective for the public and third party when they're doing their research, but that's something that we can display, and I'll get into that in a second here. And then also sales information. So what we've done with this current partner is re-index that land record documentation going back 60 years. So you see the most current transaction, the reference to the book and page here, the sale price, and that's also why you're seeing that transaction from January of 1965. That book and page reference, the grantee information. So we're taking all that consolidated information that's fragmented between those different departments, those different data silos, and re-indexing that to the parcel. Like I mentioned, just some pertinent zoning information. So what the property is zoned for, different permitted uses, conditional uses here, also different requirements for the property itself, and other controls, just that abundance of parcel information, that the art of the possible of what we can have just in terms of the properties within your county. Some assessment information. So land versus improvement value here, prior year taxes, effective tax rate, and as I mentioned in the beginning, all the terms of the informational fields that you're seeing here, it's really bespoke to your county in terms of that pertinent detail between those offices that is important to you, that we can display, toggle on and off, gatekeep from internal to the external to the public. And then also what we're doing with the land record documentation, we're building out that conveyance history per parcel. So as you see here, if you remember that transaction from March of 2025, all that pertinent metadata from here, grantor information, book and page reference, but what we also have is those transactional documents right there for you. So I can click on this and that will open up that deed for that transaction back from March of 25, as well the mortgage right here. So you have all that information there for you. And this is where we can set up just in terms of different permissions from internal to external, negating the preview button, the download button, making it set up really for your county, just to show you the abundance of information. That transaction from January of 1965 here, we have that deed right there. So it's more of a point and click, finding a property owner, finding an address, having that information all in one place. And all that kind of comes together with a new tool that we rolled out with the chatbot feature. So in terms of that, I click on the chatbot on the top right-hand side here. You can plain language text back and forth with this, ask it questions. It can pull information from you. What we have here is some of the questions that are coming in externally or between the departments for our current partner right now in terms of a lot of the questions or a mass amount of the questions that they get on the day-to-day basis. But you can type in here, like, what can I build here? And hit enter, and within a couple seconds, it's pulling that information from you. So the art of the possible of the chatbot as well. You could search across the property profile. It can pull information for you. Once we have all that information centralized in terms of where we're taking this tool is being able to search across the county, pulling in deeds, pulling in properties that a certain owner owns across the county, sales information, everything that you are seeing here. Once we have all that information centralized in one place, there's really a lot of things that we can do with that data, which Alex will also get into in some of the initiatives that we're piloting with some counties with the mineral rights aspect. But in terms of Keystone, just want to take a second and pause here. I know it was a lot of information. Anything that we can help answer from myself, Alex, or Jason on our end?
Did you have any questions?
Okay.
No, I think we're good. You can keep going.
Perfect. So I will hand it off to Alex here, and then he'll get into some of the subsurface initiatives that we're doing as well.
Hello, everybody. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Amazing. So what you're looking at here, just to orient you, this is your county. Austin touched on it earlier. It's very hard for you to visualize where a lot of these notice of location documents, a lot of these easements and leases are located on a map. So what we did is we worked with your office over the past couple months to get these documents and make them searchable. So very simply, if I typed in a grantee, Kemeril Mining, it goes directly to where the interests are, and then you see the associated notice of location documents with that. Now, let's say if I wanted to figure out where any wind leases are, just type in wind, and it goes directly to the leases, and you see the terminated lease and the option lease, which is really interesting. You can also look at a section 10. So if I go to section 10, you can see the surface claims as well as the subsurface claims all right here. And if you click in, you can see the parcel fabric that you currently have. So it shows the tax assessment parcel along with the subsurface claim underneath that. This is built for natural language. This is built for the layman or a landman to access information as fast as possible. And this makes it very easy to find information when you don't have all of the relevant information to pull up these documents. So this is scalable, and we also have all of your water rights. So if I go back to the main page, take off the grid, and then I put on the points of diversion, you see the water rights for the whole state, and this links back to the state's website. This is searchable, easy, and then we have toggle layers. So the purple here are all the BLM active claims. You can remove that if you want. So this is very scalable for all of your placer claims, your notice of location, your oil and gas leases, everything you have in your recording system can be represented here. Any questions on that?
No, it's great information. All in one place.
All in one place.
Do you have any questions, Commissioner?
I was just trying to figure out how many departments can participate in this program.
That's the exciting part of this is the first part, the Keystone piece of it. I believe will is going to relieve a lot of questions from the planning and zoning department. We field a lot of those phone calls. What can I build? What can I do? What are the rules? I think that's going to field a lot of those questions. We also get a lot of questions for the assessor's office. You know, how come this got assessed this way? What was the past assessment? What do I need to plan on going forward for my taxes? We can just direct them all to this place, and there's just so much information that it's really kind of mind-blowing. It was really exciting for us to see this in a mappable view and not just a paper document. All of our eyes and our brains understand the map better than we understand a document with meets and bounds descriptions on it. So it's exciting.
So so it's just one unit in your office, or will it be shared by all the others?
So this is something that will not only be shared interdepartmentally, but it will also be shared to the public. So isn't that right, Austin, that we can give anybody we want to access to this
So if somebody's in another office, they don't come to you to ask the question, they can log in from the office. Okay.
We would make this available to have unlimited seats in your whole county. So everyone will have their own distinct login. You don't have to wait for someone else to be finished. You can all have access to this program individually.
Emergency services. I mean, anybody it could benefit can use it.
So I know
That's
you
correct.
had the parcel fabric meeting. Is this the product from that discussion?
No,
That was
this is
different.
this is a separate project. This would go hand in hand with our parcel fabric, and it would, like I said, it would be like another layer, a deeper layer to the parcel fabric that would include a lot more information.
So would the cost be shared among the departments that use it? How does that work?
So the exciting thing about this is that there's zero cost to set it up, and there's zero cost for the first year, and then year 2 it's $2,000, and we're also going to do a fee share on that. So any fees that we charge for people to utilize this map will be able to offset that $2,000, and we will do a fee share structure. That's why they were able to give it to us so inexpensively.
So explain the fee share. I come for a service to you.
The recorder's office has a special responsibility to the taxpayers in that we are holding their information and we're keeping it safe, and we're purchasing systems for searchability and to keep their information safe. And we have a lot of outside entities who make money off of those systems that we produce. So we have a special responsibility in making sure that we recoup that money that we're spending to keep those records safe. And so we charge for those services, so that title companies and attorneys and all these people who make their living off of our records are paying the bulk of the services we provide. We want them to be paying for that. So I am planning to charge for subscriptions to this map. There can be one-time uses that will be very inexpensive for anybody to go on, any individual. But for these companies that are making big bucks off these records, we want them paying for it. So that's what we are talking about when we say fee share or revenue share. So they will take a portion of what we charge, and that will offset what we are going to be charged on year 2. And this is a 36-month contract. So we're basically looking at a total of $4,000 that we're going to owe in that 36 months. Am I right, Austin? Stop me if I'm misquoting something. But
so Cindy, you had that correct for the first year, just in terms of initial setup and the first year fee being waived. It's just in terms of year 2, it would be $2,310.
Okay.
So still in that low 2,000 range for that, and that's the same annual price for year 3 too, as well.
Right.
So at times like right now, there's lots of people looking for uranium mine claims, and sometimes they have a person to come in. They don't live in the area, so this person come to you and search for those claims, whatever. So somebody that's doing as a business, will have different charge than me just coming trying to find out about my property.
Yeah, the chart. Well, you would probably purchase a one-time charge, and that's going to be much cheaper than like the subscription that these title companies and landmen are going to be purchasing. So. We had a landman ask us last week if we knew anybody that could help him with his searching, because he's going to be helping with collecting mining claims, making sure all the mining claims are in order and ready to go for these mines that are opening up. So interest has definitely peaked. And I'm hoping that we're getting ahead of that with this product and helping our searchers find what they need, and what a valuable resource for you as commissioners to be able to pull that up and say, we have this many gas leases. Look at the dots. Look at all the blue dots. Those are all of our gas leases. Look at all the wind farms. This is our land that's in wind farms. You'll be able to see that in an instant.
Yep. And then just so you know, I just typed in uranium and then you see all the claims that I have in my system, all right here. So everything is searchable by the mineral, the geography, or the grantor or grantee. So the more information we have, the easier it is. And this is easily exportable to different reports or anything that you want on your side.
Show them the vanadium. Didn't you have vanadium in there last time we talked?
Yeah.
Vanadium, we need to sell that one.
How do you spell vanadium? I'm sorry.
A-N-A-D-I-U-M.
I think it's in Cameroon.
Vanadium. Being victory.
V-A-N-A-I-D-U-M.
VN. Yep.
I just got super excited when he showed me the different elements that they were able to pinpoint because
Yeah,
I've
we have two
never
vanadium.
seen that visually.
It's Section 8 and another Section 8. They're both Kemeril Mining LLC claims. They're both active. And here are the associated notice of location documents for those vanadium claims.
So how hard to put the information from your office in? I mean, is a lot of it already in?
So all we have to do is export those documents to them.
Okay.
That's
And
correct.
we have sent them several. That's how they got this information. We've sent them several, but it's not a difficult process at all. We just give them the info. They put it in their system, and it maps it out.
Another question. Have you talked to James about how this works?
No, I would like to talk to James. The statement of work did not end up in your packet, and so what I want to do is bring this back next time. So when you get to the actual consideration, if we would just want to postpone it to next time, I'll have the statement of work available, and I'll also have a sign off from James that he's looked at the agreement.
So the next big question is, do you have it in your budget to be able to do this?
Oh,
On your current budget?
you mean the $0 that's due? I have it in my budget.
Do you know what I mean? What I mean?
Yeah.
As you're projecting. You know,
Yes,
projecting to
yes. The
future.
$2,000, it's $2,300. I'm not worried about. I'm not concerned with that at all. I think we can shuffle things fine to come up with that.
Okay. So I think maybe the next step will be talking to James then.
Mm-hmm.
So we will postpone number 18, your consideration. We
Mhm.
will have your statement and also your sign off from James.
Yep.
And there's one thing I need. Oh, can you give us like a preliminary fee schedule of what we're looking at for like a subscription? Have you thought that through? For subscriptions and whatever.
We have thought it through. We haven't put actual numbers together yet. Have we, Austin? I don't think we got to that point yet.
If you don't have enough time, we
Not
can
yet,
do
no,
those later,
Cindy.
but-
Okay, we can talk about that maybe this week, Austin and I. And
Of course.
Okay.
yeah,
That'd be great.
yeah.
We will need all the, all the,
Mhm.
Okay.
everything so we can figure
Anything
out
else?
how to make a decision.
Okay, thank you. So that'll just come. So that's the end of our presentation, and we'll bypass you on the
Yep.
items. So there's
Yep.
no motions or
Thank
anything.
you.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for being with us, Austin, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Where do we find the gold? You could figure out where we can find the gold.
I think she'll figure that out.
No,
It's
I
pretty
know, just
good.
kidding because
Oh.
we need the money.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So number 18, we're down to our business action. Number 18 is was hers to consider, but we will just postpone that if you're all in agreement with that.
Number 18.
So not,
Yeah.
All right.
She's the one that's asking.
She is. So, okay. Number 19, consideration approval of data sharing agreement between the Utah Department of Health and Human Services and Public Health. Mike, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, commissioners. So yeah, this data sharing agreement is just to outline the terms, conditions, and safeguards they're setting forth for the data that we use to inform our public health services. to be more, centered on the needs that we have in our area.
Okay. Does anyone have any
Just-
questions regarding this?
No, that's a simple one. Yes.
Okay. So if I can get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the data agreement, sharing agreement.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Consideration approval of San Juan Counseling's area plan for fiscal year 2027. Let me go back to the top, and then I can click back
Okay, to
down.
start off, I have a present for Commissioner.
All right. Thanks.
Because it's on packet, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
So every year we have to do an area plan for the Office of Substance Use and Mental Health. This is just our public-facing document that the office puts together, and we have to fill out saying what we will do. It is a 3-year plan. It goes over our mental health services, our substance use disorder services, and our prevention services, and also our oversight. And then there's budget forms attached to it with what we will do with the public dollars that we get coming in. Like I said, the narrative part of it is a 3-year plan, but every year things change, and so we'll change it every year. And we do a new budget every year. So I just am asking for your approval and signature on it, and I'm open to take any questions.
Okay. Any questions?
Lots of work on this document.
Do you know what? Aaron did most of it, so I have to give my clinical director, Aaron Duke, a lot of credit because he tackled the bulk of it.
Did you use artificial intelligence and some of that stuff? No, well, that's even more work then.
Okay. If I can get a motion to approve their plan.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner
If I can
Juan.
get you to sign this, so I can
Leave.
submit it.
Okay. All right. So I will. Our next one is consideration approval of the fencing materials. So Jed, let me sign this and then.
We'll just say yes. We have Thomas.
And it is the 19th.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you guys for your support.
Did you have is your daughter-in-law that was working for a group moving here to town, or somebody else's daughter-in-law?
Okay. Thank you.
I'll make a copy. I'll also make a copy of this.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Good morning,
Let's see.
afternoon, whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
So, thanks for having us today. What we're asking for is the approval of an additional 500 foot of fencing this year that we did not originally put in our budget. The reason we're looking for this is we've got about a 500 foot section left where most of the windblown trash occurs. And if we got that section done, we would limit the man hours we're putting into the windblown trash immensely. So we earlier in the year we did 1,000 feet, which was a little bit above what we had originally planned, but we have enough in that to adjust our numbers around in mid-year adjustments to cover that. And this extra 500 feet was not in the budget. I don't feel like we can adjust that into it, and so we're just asking permission to use some of our savings in the mid-year adjustment to add to the budget for this extra 500 foot of fence so we can reduce those man hours of picking up trash considerably.
Okay. Do we have any questions or a motion?
No questions. Out of the savings for mid-year, you said, Jed?
Yeah, we would add it to the total budget from our savings account, but add it to the total budget to the mid-year adjustment.
In June when we do that.
Motion to approve with the comment. When you get your motion, Madam Chair.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Real quick comment,
Oh.
Commissioner.
Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Okay. No worries.
With the motion, but a comment. Maybe I
yeah.
thought you were commenting on my comment. So sorry.
So this comment is dedicated to the city of Blanding and all the residents in Blanding. This is coming from them, Jed, and I'm
Okay.
saying it in their behalf. And the city of Blanding and the people there are saying, Jed, can you keep the landfill open on weekends in some way? That's the request. So think about it, process it.
I have thought about it considerably several times. I think
And-
that'd probably be better left to work through in our our other meeting, but at the same time, primarily what it would require to do that is additional employee and additional man hours and additional budget, and all of which would require probably an increase in fees.
And so the city of Blanding, I did present your request to Jed.
Yeah.
It's on video.
I'm not opposed to it, but
So, and he's not opposed to it. So we'll take you up on that, Jed.
I guess what I'm asking on to add on to that is, are they feeling like a full day on Saturday, every Saturday, or could it be like one Saturday a month for a half a day? Could it be every other Saturday, half a day? I mean, there's got to be some
we could consider all things, but at the same time, I think part of that problem is the reason we have a problem in the city of Blanding that way and not other areas is it's being directed from the city of Blanding is the city of Blanding closed their transfer station. So primarily in a way, it's also a city of Blanding problem because they closed the transfer station, not the county. So that would be something to consider as well.
So if they reopen the transfer station on Saturday, we
Well,
wouldn't
it's
have a
the city.
problem.
It's
It would
the
probably
city.
eliminate that problem, yes.
But it's the city, and they have at least some kind of company that's.
For us to expand to that as a landfill, it would serve all residents of the county, no doubt, but it would also require more money. I think the staff we have, it handles the workload we're carrying right now fairly well, but I think it would require some additional staff to make that work.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Whether
I
they
think-
be part-time or full-time.
I think the concern, again, just stating the public concern, a lot of dumping out there, illegal, and there's just if the landfill's not available or if the waste disposal center is not available, well then I'll just handle it my own way, which is I'll find a hill and I'll leave it there, kind of a thing, and that's something we want to not promote. We want to
I would agree.
figure out solutions, and
And I understand that.
and so that again, just community concern and whatever we can do to help would be good.
I understand that completely, but I also think there's some liability there by the city of Blanding as well and their council. I think when they closed their transfer station, they contributed to the problem.
So maybe have a chat with them.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay,
I'm
thank
glad
you.
you heard it.
You bet.
Thank you.
Do we have to?
We
Do we vote?
approve that.
Yeah, it was approved.
Yes. Okay, consideration and approval of a 6-week trial implementation of the flock license plate recognition. Sheriff Lacey, thank you.
All right. We're gonna look forward into using this flock safety LPRs in our area. They're implemented in a bunch of the state, around the state, Four Corners area. So we're like the middle of that doesn't have these LPR readers. You guys know the LPR reader, license plate readers? They're used for looking for stolen vehicles, vehicles linked to criminal activity, Amber Alerts, missing persons. One of the key factors that brought us to this company was the triple homicide in Wayne County. That individual got tracked by these flock cameras all the way into Arizona to New Mexico into Colorado. So I see the benefit for these. It's a trial period. We have 2 vigilant cameras. They're different company, but do the same thing already in the county, and they've been beneficial looking for missing people and criminal activity. So that's our proposal. So any questions?
Let's talk the cost. How does that work?
Okay. So right now it's a trial and we don't have to pay anything up front, $0 up front. If we decide to work with them, then we'll get assessed the installation fees and the other and then it's a yearly contract that goes through, and it's a 3-year contract, about $33,000 a year. So, and that's for 10 cameras. And I don't know if we need 10 cameras. That's just the trial period that they try to set up so we can find the best locations in the county. We've already designated those locations. And it could be 5 cameras, it could be 6 cameras, so that price could go down. So,
And that would fit within your budget? There wouldn't need to be a budget adjustment, or
that would start this next in January, so we could put it into our budget. So would work with them and say, hey, we're going to do it, but we're not going to do it in January when the new budget comes out.
All right.
You know, especially in the area that we live, people can disappear really fast.
Right.
You know, and I think I won't give anybody ideas, but it seems like sometimes I think, what if? Giovanni, what if? And then how do we find somebody?
Right.
And so I think this is in your budget. I think it's a good thing to have.
I don't think we have it in our budget this year, but maybe next year. Maybe we can look at some different things, but I think
maybe you can put some this
right.
year and
some next year, right? And that the individual that got lost on that we were looking for up on Elk Ridge, we had him leaving Moab, and then we didn't have any other. We don't have any other cameras down this way, so he would have hit on those cameras. So we would have been able to locate him a lot faster, I believe, if we would have had.
And with that one
more.
young boy,
Right,
so
yeah.
that was another good thing. So
Yep.
yeah,
So they're beneficial. They're just a lot of people have a lot of privacy issues with them, but it doesn't track like people's names or anything like that. So, but we can get into that logistics side of it with County Attorney Mon. So,
All right, thank you. So
Okay.
we have a motion for approval.
I make a motion that we buy the cameras.
Okay, so it's a 6-week trial.
trial for now, yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll second it if it's a 6-week trial to test on the shoes and see if it fits.
Mhm.
Right?
All right.
Perfect. I like
Okay.
it. Okay, thank you.
All in
Thank
favor,
you.
say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Oh, there you are. I didn't see you. Consideration approval of the 2026 cooperative agreement between San Juan County and Utah State.
Okay, so this is part of the contracts that MOUs that I'm building, so I can spend the USDA funding for the grant that we have. We have an agreement with USU Extension. They'll be helping us through this portion to do the vertical farming and agricultural framework that we applied for, as well as funding that goes to Indigenous agricultural and cultural knowledge programming, and then farming and agricultural education programs. One additional thing that they'll be doing is also providing technical support for the areas in White Mesa as well as on Navajo Nation. So we have technical support for workforce as well as business development and any other needs that they have in that area. So this is just the funding that we've gotten from the USDA.
So I do have a question.
Mhm.
So the dates on this term runs from October 1st of 2025
Sure.
to September 20. What? Explain this to me because I see it throughout that.
It is really weird because we applied for it in 2025. They delayed the awarding of this, but we still have to do it within the framework of the original grant. And so the grant was supposed to be from October to September. So I still have to end in September, but we didn't get all of it finalized until this year. So that's one of the reasons I'm trying to urgently do it, so I make sure I can meet that deadline still. So yeah, that's why.
All grant funding.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, it's all grant funded.
Okay. So do we have a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. We got a few months. Get that going, right?
I know. I'm trying fast.
Okay. Consideration approval of an ordinance amending ordinance 2020-04 establishing the purchasing policy within San Juan County.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I am here on behalf of the staff of San Juan County. We are almost at the finish line with this amendment of the ordinance. So we have the purchasing policy that was established back in 2020, and so we'd like to amend it with the updated changes. We've gone through the process of having this submitted through our department heads, through legal. It is updated with the correct codes. The changes in the ordinance, we did change the purchase policy. We changed the purchase amounts. So currently, department heads can go up to the $1,000 threshold. Anything over that, there would be appeal that would go to Glennis Pearson. She would approve that, and then they could make the purchase. So this would take the purchase amount up to $5,000 with the discretion of a department head. Anything between $5,000 to $10,000 would go to, currently it would be Glennis for the approval. Anything over $10,000 would then come to commissioners for your approval.
Is this credit card or any purchase?
This is the purchasing policy. So in the credit card policy, it refers to the purchasing policy. So it doesn't stipulate an amount in the credit card policy. It just refers to the purchasing policy, just so it could be a fluid document.
All right, any comments?
Madam Chair, I have
Yes.
a couple of questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Trying to, for the public that are listening in, remind us, when was the last update on any county policy, specifically here?
So the last update, last month we did the credit card policy, correct? And so prior to that, I think it's been a year or two since the last update. So.
Okay.
I thought you said back to 2020.
So this ordinance was established in 2020, but as far as policy in general, I believe it's been 2 years prior to the credit card policy.
Okay.
To my understanding.
That's good. And this was a group think exercise with all the department heads involved, and they've been working together for this outcome, right?
Correct. And so what we did, we pulled the purchasing policy and we sent it out to the department heads for their review. And so groupthink, we all came together, the ideas, we were set on the number was a groupthink activity, and that's what came to be was the $5,000 amount.
And all departments had an opportunity for input and.
Correct. All departments were invited to share.
Well, I think that's just an amazing exercise for the county departments to be working together, and they're the ones up front dealing with all the numbers and the funds and the programs that need to happen in their own departments. So it's good that we're revising from 2020.
Right.
We've had group think coordination. I'm supportive of this, Madam Chairwoman, so just want a motion to approve.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. So we did the policies and procedures, and that we kind of followed the same format. The problem with the policies and procedures is I initially gave it my legal review, and then it got changed, quite significantly after I made my legal review, and I didn't get a chance to come around and basically review the final version. So with this, I told Tranner that I want you guys to get the finished product, and once you have the finished product, I would like to review it and so forth. So I'm in that process right now. The thing that I pulled from the agenda, it's not formatted, and that just happens, but it needs to be reformatted, number one. I also noticed the only change, and I'm kind of halfway through it right now, but the only change I noticed that I made in it was it does reference that the purchasing agent would be the zoning or the
Treasure.
no the
County administrator.
county administrator. Sorry, and number one, we're in flux right now, so we don't know what. But number two, as I compare it with the statute and compare it with other counties, that the purchasing agent usually is someone from the clerk auditor's office, and so I'm just bringing that to your attention. I think my recommendation would be that the purchasing agent and the purchasing agent can designate whatever they want. They can call on somebody else to be the purchasing agent or to be the to help them with that. So I guess one of the questions that we probably need to answer before we adopt the final thing is, who do we want the purchasing agent to be? Do we want it to be the county administrator, which, like I say, we're in flux now, or the clerk auditor?
The reason it came up as the treasurer, because in the last meeting, they wanted more of a check and balance. So they didn't, because the clerk cuts the checks, they didn't want them being approved by them as well. So
Right.
that's why the staff voted it go to the treasurer's office for approval, the checks be cut by the clerk, the clerk's office.
So will the clerk be the purchasing agent?
The treasurer.
Yes,
treasurer.
the treasurer would be the one to approve based on the
Okay.
policy, and then it would go to the clerk's office to cut the check. They felt like that kept a more check and balance between the
I
two.
certainly agree with that. The issue, I guess, is along with the purchasing it's quite a process to understand the statute, to understand the policy, because you got requests for proposals, you got invitations to bid, and each one of them has it's very complicated statute. So is the treasurer does the treasurer have that knowledge and that ability to take over?
So I guess this is our question, to keep them separate of duties. Could legal advise on those? I mean, anything that's basic, like up to 5,000, that's really what she would be approving. Anything over has to have the department head.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking at it.
All the RFPs
just
have to
the-
go
the
through
opposite.
us.
Why can't the clerk's office be the purchasing agent, take care of all that, but have the treasurer's office be the person that reconciles?
Well, I kind of think Vicky was here trying to separate that out
Yes,
the last time, and they had that discussion. So
Yeah, and as a side issue, I guess I emailed all of you about some issues with the treasurer's office and the clerk's office and the separation of duties.
correct, and I thought that is that not correct? I thought you guys kind of worked that out, and that's the reason why one was going to one and one was going to the other. Maybe we need to have this conversation so we
yeah.
have it straight in
Yes,
everybody's
I
minds.
think so, and I have no problem having the treasurer's office do it. It's just that I think we need to check and see if Glennis has the knowledge and the expertise, or does she need to be trained?
Do we give her a quiz? I mean,
Yes.
what do we do?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do on that.
No, at least talk with her, and see if she's willing and able to take on those extra duties.
Yeah, she was here this morning and agreed to do that.
Okay.
So she completely agreed.
Okay.
But maybe she could train with you a little bit on that, on how that, or the
Yeah.
clerks, or how, I don't
Yeah.
know. What,
Yeah.
We had met with them regarding the reconciliation of the
Mhm.
asset accounts. I think part of this policy is relating to how it moves through KISS flow.
right.
And that part, I think what Attorney Mon is hinting at or talking about is the competitive quotes and all of that
Right.
different process. How does that get parsed out to the person that might be best for it?
And who's the most familiar? I guess that's my question to you: is who's the most familiar with that?
Our office has never been involved with any of that kind of details. Mac had always taken that and had received the bids and went through it that part. But
So one office has to tackle it regardless.
yes, so it'd be new to all of us.
Okay. Well, and I think maybe Jens and I and the treasurer can sit down and work something out. But
Perfect.
I just,
Don't mind.
in the attachment I downloaded that was on the agenda, it has the county administrator, but then it has it crossed out,
Right.
the strike through text. So anyway, that I just wanted you to be aware of that. I think it's probably too early to adopt right now, but I think we can make those changes and reviews and then
Have
put
a
it back
clean
on the
copy come
agenda.
back with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will just postpone.
Kelly had a comment.
Commissioner Harvey or Commissioner Stubbs has a comment.
No, I saw Talia raise her hand, so I wasn't sure
you
if
did?
she
Oh,
has
sorry.
a.
The only comment I have, so I had to go through training because of the grants for this.
Mhm.
And so in the training, they did say it was the clerk's office that normally does that because of I need the RFPs and all of the additional stuff that goes to that. So I'm just letting you know that's what I learned within my training. So if that helps at all, I thought
If that's
that
what,
was
if,
interesting.
Whichever is the most correct way, would you guys agree that that's the route we should go? Or
So
which-
right
what are
now,
you
my
feeling?
motion is to approve the policy, and from what I'm hearing, legal hasn't had a chance to put its review complete to it.
Okay.
So I'm going to change my motion then to a motion to defer to legal counsel, County Attorney Mon, for his final review,
Okay.
and then we can bring it back next month
Perfect.
to our agenda to approve.
Awesome.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. I'm just making a note on that. Okay. Thank you for staying up. Consideration approval of a resolution from the San Juan County Board of Commissioners approving the reclassification of eligible emergency medical services employees into appropriate URS retirement lanes.
So we are bringing this resolution back to the county. We got back in November, we had a resolution that came through, got approved. It was to adjust eligible EMS personnel, so our full-time EMS personnel, into public safety lane. And so URS has kicked us back some documents, and so we're just needing to bring it back to you guys to have the resolution repassed. It will have an effective date because of the meetings URS will have to go through to adopt it for San Juan County of July 1st. So
Any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
A motion to approve, Madam Chair.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, consideration approval to an amended resolution clarifying the county commission form of government. That's Attorney Mon.
Have you got, so at the last commission meeting, Commissioner Harvey asked me to add two things, I think, to this resolution. And one had to do with meeting with the county administrator. One was to do with meeting with the department heads. I actually drafted two versions. One contains exactly what was requested. And my eyesight's not. So, is there two versions of it?
Yes, and I believe your first one now meets the situation we're in at this time.
Yes.
And the second one, let me just pull it up.
Yeah, I think that.
And the second one meets that was the requested one, but the situation has changed. So
Right.
the purple one is the other
but
one.
Go down a little bit. Go down to, and I think what happened, Commissioner Harvey, is if you remember, you asked me to include that in either paragraphs 1 or 2, And I tried to do that, but I just didn't think it fit. So I made a whole new paragraph, which would be paragraph 6 there. And this is in the present situation. No commissioner shall meet with the county administrator unless timely notice of the meeting is sent to the other 2 commissioners. A commissioner may meet with a department head or closed official to discuss the department's offices to date, the department's or offices day-to-day operations, but must invite the other commissioners to any meeting involving legislative or executive policies or procedures related to said department. So that's what was originally asked. If you go back up to the other one, go to that same paragraph 6, go to paragraph, okay. So since we don't have the county administrator, I drafted 2 versions and let you guys decide which one you want. This one does not deal with that issue with the county administrator, because that's in flux right now. So this one just says, the commissioner may meet with the department head or elected official to discuss the department's or office's day-to-day operations, but must invite the other commissioners to address any legislative or executive function. So I gave you both versions. I don't know which one you want to pass.
Comments or a motion?
Well, Commissioner Harvey is the one that requested, so I don't know what.
Yeah, Attorney Mon, I really appreciate you taking the directive. I know that right now we're in limbo for a county administrator. And we really haven't made any decisions to hire one yet, because I think our structure is still in discussion mode. And so I know that the attachment, which shows the proposed structure, is something we need to bring to the public for hearing and discussion. I'd like to, let's stay with the original, because it's always changeable. I mean,
Sure, yeah.
it's always changeable, and we can align it to the needs of how we decide in the end the structure of our government. You know, right now the burden is shifting on the department heads to function independently. It may become overbearing that we're going to need someone at some point. So let's stick to this, knowing that we can change in the future. If that's good.
That's the purple version. That's the one we're talking about.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. So motion to approve.
Can I make another suggestion too? We talk about meeting with original hearing request. All of us can be present when we talk with the county, administrator. I would like to request that all 3 should, when we talk in county business, and we address, and that when we talk to you, all 3 should be present. So we can, assure, because there's some times where things happen that have never heard about it. And I think if all 3, if we make that part about, when we're talking about county business, I'm not talking about other things, the things that we had to make decision, they all hear at the same time. This is what we're gonna do. And so I think, save the same purpose as you were requested to do with the county administrator.
And that's right here in that paragraph.
Yeah,
Because that was what
department
was
head.
requested anyway, that we meet with department head or elected official to discuss departments. Anyhow, you have to invite all the commissioners for legislative or executive. So yeah, that was part of the request.
Yeah, and if anyone's wondering why is this so technical and trivial, the whole idea behind this is we're a board of commissioners. We're a board. It's not one commissioner, right?
Right.
So we don't want a commissioner. We want the board of commissioners. So really,
Yeah, I think there's a balance though, because at some point it just becomes inefficient. For example, if the health department is having some issues, and they need to talk with me and so forth. And I may go to one of you, obviously you, because you're over that department, and say, well, here's Commissioner Harvey, here's what I would say. That it becomes very problematic if I have to invite all three of you along. So
One thing that we have done that was decided is that if it's public health, then Commissioner Harvey's over that. What you'll do is you will email him and CC us. He will be the one to respond to you.
Okay.
Just so we know the information and it's circulating. And this refers directly to administrative items, of course, not the legislative or executive. So we don't make those decisions together for that Open Meeting Act. So just to clarify that, are we good on that?
I'm good on it.
All right.
Motion.
Okay. Do I have a second for the motion to approve?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 And just for clarification, it is the
Purple.
Purple.
Purple one.
Purple.
Purple one.
Purple. Okay. All right, and finally, consideration approval of the agreement between San Juan County and Jones and DeMille Engineering for the professional services. So this agreement is, so Mac has worked with me with this agreement. This is for that CDBG grant, and this is for the engineering services. This is like the proposal. So this is a formal document that is attached to the grant and is due May 31st. That's why it's coming before you. So, and Sam is aware of this, and understands how this works with me as well. So that's basically what it is for. Any questions, or do we have a motion to approve?
Well, the payment will be part of the grant? Or
Yes.
part of the- Okay.
Yes. The payment
That's
will
just
be
my
part of the
question.
grant. Yep. So if I can get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We need to go into executive session for discussion of two items. Commission reports are going to be pending based on the fact that Commissioner Harvey has a meeting. So if we don't get out of executive quickly enough in time for commission reports, we'll just forego those and have an adjournment so he can get to his meeting down in Montezuma Creek. So just a heads up for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we need a motion to go into executive session regarding attorney. Who's doing that? Isn't he?
I don't know, it's Mitch.
I thought he was.
Go grab him.
Okay, we're going to him.
Yeah,
I need a motion to go into closed session to discuss character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual.
Motion to move into executive session to
Okay.
discuss the professional confidence or physical or mental health of an individual.
Okay, so motion by Commissioner Harvey. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, and then all in favor